Hey, you guys. How you doing? I came back. I was making a couple of videos here and there, but nothing like how I was doing in the beginning. So I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. Please bear with me. So I thought today that we would just go over step by step how I layer my makeup, how I do my makeup. Um, if you want to follow along, feel free. I'll try to remember to show you guys the products that I'm using as well as the techniques. And you can do whatever you like with that. Like you don't have to use the same eye shadow as I use. You don't have to use eyeshadow at all. Just tweak it to fit your needs. But I'm going to run you through how I do mine, basically. So I already did this. I use this Amora Skin Clarifying Toner. And what that's supposed to do is it's supposed to kind of be all in one, kind of washes your face, it closes your pores, and it just makes for a smoother makeup application. I have the face cleanser and I have it looks like some kind of serum, but it's a moisturizer. I've been happy with those products. They are at Five and Below for if you're interested. They have a whole line of the Amora products. So anyway, I always start with my eyebrows. This is before you prime your face or anything. This is how I like to do it. Okay, everybody's got different brows, right? So guess what? You don't have to color them the same way. You don't have to brush them the same way. You adapt it based on what you got. Um, if you're using like a stencil or something like that, that might make it a little bit easier. My eyebrows are a little too thick for that, so I just kind of, there's a lot of videos and tutorials on how to do your eyebrows when they're thin, but there's not a whole lot on what if you got thickums like me. And so I've been, experimenting back and forth here and there to see what will work best for me. So I'm just taking this brush. Um, it says it's a short shader brush. That's what I use for my brow powder. I use the darker color right there. And I'm just going to fill in the little spaces because sometimes that's a problem when you have thick eyebrows. You they're not thick in every single place. So I have, eyebrow pencils and things like that, but this powder, once I tried it, and I was very skeptical. I had it for a long time before I used it. Turns out to be one of the most awesome products I've ever used. And you know, that's all I have to say about that. Because, girl, these brows, let me tell you, uh, it can be rough. So, anyways, mine is called Smoke and Mirrors. I also got this from the Five and Below. However, it came in a big package and had the gel, the mascara, eyeshadow, which I'm actually going to be using today. It comes in that big old thing and $5. You ain't gonna beat that, honey. I don't care who you are. Okay, now I'll go ahead and outline my brows. I don't always do this, but since I'm doing a little tutorial here, I'll show you how I do it when I do it. to always wonder why women did this, and I started paying really close attention to how it's basically just to exaggerate the shape of your eyebrows. So that's pretty much it. And it's using a little Hoover thing. Oh, I will show you guys the concealer I used in just a moment, because this is just concealer. Some people like to take highlighter and just go right under the arch of their brow. That's another way to do it. I guess I prefer this way because that's the way I always do it, but maybe if I try the other way, I might like that too. Who knows? You ain't gonna know till you try. Okay. I think I did something there. Okay. Anyway, when I was lining them, I was lining with the Il Makiage concealer. It's I can't say enough about the concealer. I think I like the concealer better than I like the foundation, y'all. Imagine that. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild Serum Base Primer. Sorry, I'm trying to show you guys what this says, but it just says Primer Serum. I like this one because I feel like it moisturizes my face before I put all these products on that could be potentially drying. Guys, you gotta protect your face and your skin. You don't have to do it the way that I do it, but do something, because you start having problems later down the line with your skin. You know, you don't treat it right. Better be nice. Better be nice. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do some color correction. Now, this is what I've been using. This is HD Concealer by Novak. And let me just tell you, I cannot say enough about this. Also, when I'm applying a product like this, including, you know, my foundation, I put it on the back of my hand first. Now, I used to see a lot of people doing that, and I was like, why are they putting it on the back of their hand and blah, blah, blah. But then I tried it. A lot of times when your makeup shifts, it's because you got too much of it on. Putting it on the back of your hand before you place it on your face, that stops it. You only need to use what you need. And I am so very I'm so very glad that I watched so many videos where they were telling me this, to put it on the back of your hand first, especially if you're a beginner. I'm not talking about people that have been doing makeup for 99 million years and they know what they're doing, but you know, you're relatively new, or maybe your hands aren't that steady or whatever. Put it on the back of your hand first, please. And guess what? You'll be saving money because you're not going to be using as much product. Now, I use the orange concealer because my skin is brown. Brown skin people can use, you know, maybe they can use a deep peach. Usually lighter skin people use like a pinkish color. And then for your red marks, if you do have red marks, a lot of us do, that's what the green concealer is for, y'all. So find out what you need it for and use it just in that area. Don't put it everywhere. These bags under my eyes are going to be the death of me, I swear. Okay. I don't always dot my concealer. Hyperpigmentation. Yes, baby, it runs in my family. Okay. We are going to go ahead and blend this concealer out. Look, the dark circles are almost completely gone, so that's what's working for me now, so that's what I'm sticking to. If I find a better method later, I'm open to it, but for now, this is what I got. Nice. There's some spots there from previous pimples. And then that hyperpigmentation right there, which actually works out in my favor when I'm, because it happens to fall right on the line where I contour. I'll contour in this video, but I'm not going to bronze. If you like to use bronzer, feel free. Feel free. Like I said, you ain't got to do things the way I do it. Okay, so today we're going to use, let's see here. Oh, actually, you want to use a little powder wherever you use a cream or a liquid product. So for now, I'm going under my eye with Tarte loose powder. I love this loose powder. You don't have to use loose powder. Use what works for you. I prefer to use loose powder under my eyes, and I'll just use a, a firm compact powder for the rest of my face, but I like to get under my eyes with these. See? When you actually take the time out to do some things, you can maybe make some good things happen. Okay. Now we are going to do NYX Blur. It's foundation. Full coverage. It's called Bear With Me. Warm in the shade Warm Honey. As I've said before in other videos of mine, that seems like all the things that I use are some kind of honey. Warm honey, cool honey, honey. Just like, okay, well, I guess I'm just a honey then. And you don't have to apply your things. I use brush to apply my concealer. The flat tip brush, I use that sometimes to apply my foundation. It's whatever you're comfortable with. You ain't got to do everything like they do it on TikTok. No, baby. And see, look at this. I did like one squeeze, and I still got that much left over. I'm telling you. All right, so now what I'm going to do is when I first started out, these videos would take me 30 minutes to make because I didn't know what I was doing. I still kind of don't know what I'm doing, but, I'm trying. I guess I'm getting better at trying. I'm not rubbing directly under my eye because I already solved that problem. I'm not trying to add to it. If you putting concealer under your eye, and then you put foundation on top of that, and then powder on top of that, then, my friend, you are going to have creasing. And that's not cute for makeup, is it? Unless you're making a Halloween mask or something. Okay, we're done with the foundation. And now, like I said, any type of cream formula that you put on or liquid, you need to go over it with everybody and their mother's calling me right now. They must know I'm making a video. But you kind of put the powder in there, and I'm just using this. I'm just using L'Oreal Age Perfect powder foundation. Tap it off. Then you can rub it in. Tap it off. It's very important to tap that thing off, you know. Why? Because we're trying to use as little makeup as possible and still achieve the look. Again, not under the eyes. We're not touching that. We're done with under the eyes. We're not coming back to that. Okay. So now that we've done all that wonderful stuff, we're ready to do a little bit of eye stuff. So we're going to try to keep it simple today. Okay? We're going to use the Smoke and Mirrors Perfect Hues palette, which came in that big box where I got my eyebrow stuff from. Now, normally with me, I like to use this brush, again, the same little flat brush, to put the color on my eye, and then I like to use a brush like that to kind of fluff it out. So for now, let's start out with this color. I don't know why this always surprises me when it goes on, because it looks like a mauve color, but it's really like a rusty brown. Okay, I'm just placing it right in the crease and right above the crease. Get my other handy dandy brush. And we're just going to go in small circular movements back and forward over the lid. And today I'm just using sort of neutral colors, so, but I will bust out the blue and the green in a minute, girl. Okay. Now I'm going to put a shimmery shade on my lid. Why? Because I can. Okay. This is like a gold color. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty gold. I like it though. Normally I am not a gold person. I don't like that color. I don't know why. It just reminds me of mustard. But I will tell you one thing. If I'm challenged, I will make a look out of anything. Because I just want to see if I could do it. I think people need to push themselves and test themselves. Don't always do what you're comfortable with. Step out of your comfort zone sometimes, you know. That's what I say. Okay, that looks very pretty. Okay, so now all we're going to do is we're going to go along the bottom with that same rusty color. And we're going to go under here. Because we are not doing eyeliner today, ma'am. No. I've been having allergies all day. That's like the worst thing I could probably do to myself is put eyeliner on. There we go. What do you guys think? Y'all like that? Alright, now I'm going to use my Tarte mascara. If you're looking for a mascara that is very voluminous, this is a definite go-to. I don't know if I'm in love with the Tarte brand, but the things that I have chosen from them so far have not been disappointed. I love the way that this just make it look like, just enhances it, but in such a beautiful way. Oh my goodness. Get them bottom lashes, girl. If you get the right mascara, it's going to look like you have some lashes down there anyway. But there are some tricks that you can do. Explore those later. Okay, now we're going to do the blush. The e.l.f. Putty Blush. I don't know why I love this so much, but I think it's because it can go with like any look. And it's just a very soft, neutral look, and I love it. The problem with the bright blushes, which I do use, is that it takes away from whatever else is going on in your face, because your cheeks are big and they got this bright color on it. So I say that if you want to draw attention to like your eye or something like that, then don't use a heavy blush. So then I'm just going to go over it with my LA Colors, because remember, cream and liquid. Got to cover it with powder. You want it to set in place. Okay, ta-da. All right. Now I am going to place if I can find it. What did I do with it? I'll just use this one. Okay, I'm just looking for something for my contour, my highlighter, so I'm just going to use this little fan brush. So here's the contour, and you go right under your jawline because you're trying to highlight your actual jawbone, which should be going above that. So there's that. I'm not doing it on my chin or anything. A lot of people do it on their face, but every time I do it, it just doesn't look right to me, so I'm not doing it. Okay, there's some more contour. And for my contour, I'm just using the Conceal It by LA Colors. Okay. Contour really does make a difference. remember one time I was looking at myself after I had done my makeup and I had taken a picture. And I went back and looked back later. I was like, that looks a little different. I was contouring. Duh, woman. Just shaping stuff. Smoke and shadows, right? Now I'll get a little bit of highlighter. Hmm. Hmm. Again, you don't have to draw yours in exactly how I'm drawing mine, but this is what I like to do. Then I like to go under this to bring that out, if you will. Or if you won't. I usually contour, or I usually highlight my cheeks, but I don't like to use the stick highlighter because it's just too much. Okay, we have that done so far. The last thing we're going to do is lips. I am going to line my lips today. I normally do not line my lips. No. Take the edge of this. I don't have the steadiest hands on the planet, but here's what it is. So anyway, here is the look. Pretty simple, yeah? I'll come on to and I'll do some looks that are more simple, maybe not full face makeup, because everybody's different. Everybody's looking for something different. So anyway, any questions or comments? Love to hear from you. Until then.